We are in Tokyo Disneyland now. This is the park based on the original park in California. The Magic Kingdom in Disney World is also modeled on the Disneyland park in California, so they should be pretty much identical. However, immediately I know that Main Street is different. The entrance was different, Main Street is different. It has the same kind of feel and vibe, but if you look up above, there's a roof and a covering. This area is actually kind of shaded. There's a lot of sun and there's a lot of heat, but it is a little cooler right here. We see a lot more characters in the windows, and Main Street actually branches off in different directions. In the park in Magic Kingdom in Disneyland, California, you just go straight to the castle. We're not here at opening because we're not in much of a rush today. I'm not trying to pull everyone to a Rapunzel ride again. So we're able to see less of a crowd. We're able to get some more shots of the building and infrastructure and the design. It has the same kind of feel of what Main Street's supposed to be. It looks like it's an actual town. So you see dressmaking, mortgage and trust, lawyers, a diamond place, jewelry place. But then you also see these shops and markets of the Disney stuff. So the gift shops, the dress boutiques, that kind of stuff. It's really beautiful. And oh my goodness, the castle. The castle is amazing. Oh my goodness, there's a Japanese restaurant over there to the right. Huh, that's really interesting. We don't have that in America. I kind of want to eat there. One of the coolest things about Disneyland, anytime you go, anywhere you go, is the food. So if you're not a big rides person, just come and get a bunch of cool food. Oh, there's a band playing over there to the left. This is classic peak Disney right here. We're gonna have to get some footage of the famous Walt statue, Walt holding hands with Mickey. It's where people always want to take photos. I already booked the Disney Premiere ticket for the biggest ride in the park, which is the Beauty and the Beast adventure ride. It's a lot like the fairy tale storytelling rides, where you get on a vehicle and you go through like animatronics and shows and artistry of the movie. I think the effects are going to be absolutely mind-blowing in it. I already got our tickets, so we don't need to worry about running to the line. We can instead look at some of the beauty of this park, and we'll go ride some other stuff.
Funny thing about love is you never really know when it's coming, but you better believe you'll know when it's there. True story.
One of the fun facts about the Disneyland park is that it is designed in a spoke and hub model. This is the same model that Walmart and Amazon and really any major distribution company uses to design their distribution network. And so Disney designed his park this way to make it so he can distribute people and crowds. What you end up with is a lot of beautiful things like Snow White's wishing well, shops, stores, different parks, but there are a couple of different lands in the park. But you can go to the center and split off on the spokes of the wheel and get to different areas very fast and very quickly. And if you get to the edge of the park, you can walk in a circle around all of the different lands. It's an incredibly well-designed system. So many of their parks use this classic spoke and hub model. The Baymax Mizu no Kansoto is about to begin, aka the Baymax water concert. Oh my god, it's a Baymax. That's so cool. So it's just a little statue and the head rotates a little bit. It's nothing major. So I haven't been to Disneyland in a long time, like since like 2014-ish probably, but this is not what I remember. This is beautiful. The inside of the restaurant is so well designed. I do feel like I'm in Wonderland. All the pots and dishes are just way too big because we're shrunk down, I'm assuming. That's why the flowers and everything are huge. The ordering is pretty simple. It does not look like you need to be able to speak Japanese in order to get the food that you want. There's a pretty wide variety of options. There's a lot of meat. However, if you do have dietary restrictions, you should scan the menus and you'll see that they have vegetarian and vegan options. Disney is catered to an international audience with international dietary needs and restrictions. And this is not just like one specific restaurant has vegetarian stuff. Multiple restaurants in both parks will be able to meet your needs. And you'll still be able to eat something really, really tasty.
I must have been searching, though I wasn't looking for much. Checking out the scene, wasn't trying to get my numbers up. You know I keep it cool. I prefer to stay in the cut. Don't want no attention on me when I'm trying to shake the blues up off me.
もう引き返すことはできませんぞ。 全てはここから始まる。
We are in Toontown now. This is a completely new and original concept for a Disneyland park. It's only here in Japan, as far as I know anyways, but we don't have it in America, that's for sure. Toontown is featuring some Mickey Mouse characters, which is, interestingly enough, a character you don't really see themed in the parks. You know, Mickey and Minnie and their friends will show up all the time, but you don't usually see an entire section dedicated to them. But here we have Toontown, so you have those different characters. You also have Roger Rabbit, which is now owned by Disney, apparently. It might just be a licensed thing, but there's a really interesting ride. It's unique. You get to drive in the taxis from the Roger Rabbit movie. So if you look in the far distance, the mountains and ice castle over there, that's Arendelle. That is Fantasy Springs. The parks are that physically close to each other. You can literally see the Arendelle castle that we were just at yesterday from Toontown. Let's see, Huey, Dewey, and Louie's Good Time Cafe. I'm definitely in the mood for something good and tasty to drink, and I think Camera Guy might enjoy a teriyaki chicken Chinese bun. Let's get something to eat, and then we'll go ride the fun taxi ride. This is probably the most overpriced thing we've gotten at the park so far, because we got fries, a spring roll, a cookie, and a drink, and this was 2,000 yen. This is like the true American Disney experience meal right here, as the food doesn't look like what it was advertised as, and it was really expensive. Maybe don't go to the Good Time Cafe. Maybe go to a different restaurant in the park, because the rest of the food's been really good. The fries are basic. They taste fine. Let me see what the soda tastes like. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like jelly stuff in here. That's pretty cool. I don't know what this foam is, because it's not going away. What is this foam? That is sweet liquid. It's not especially carbonated. It's about as carbonated as any other soft drink you might get. Maybe less than a Sprite, but more than a Coke, if that makes any sense. But it's a sweet, tasty thing, and it's got fruit and jello chunks in there, so that's tasty. I have no idea what this foam is, though. How's the spring roll, dear?
Nom 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 nom.
Nom 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 nom. That's what we got. This was 600 yen. That is a chocolate cookie. It tastes good. Maybe like a 200 yen cookie.
Funny thing about love is you never really know when it's coming, but you better believe you'll know when it's there. True story.
For those of you who have not seen the movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit takes place in a world where cartoon creatures and things exist in the real world, which is a very problematic idea when you consider that they are still drawn and animated by humans. So that means the animators in that universe can create sentient life that's also immortal. You can't kill toons because if they die, it's just funny. However, the villain in that movie creates dip, which can melt and dissolve cartoons forever. They just die in a very horrific and terrifying way. I'm expecting we'll see this villain on our ride. Oh my god. Okay. Whew, man, that was a lot. It was hard to get spinning at first, and then it kept circling and circling and circling. Whew. Definitely worth like a 20-minute wait, but oh my god. I need some water.
But then I saw your face, it caused my heart to race. Girl, you're looking like $1,000,000. Something about the way you strut your stuff.
We are now inside Cinderella's Fairy Tale Hall. This is the small little attraction that's inside the Cinderella Castle that sits at the center of Disneyland. Little known fact is that they actually hired and commissioned all sorts of artists from all over the world to create these paintings and mosaics and glass murals that we're going to see in the little museum. So inside a couple of these Cinderella castles across the world, there are these museums here, and you just get to see the paintings and artwork that are from the films, but they're done incredibly well, even better than the originals, I might say, in terms of like an art purely art style, and it's done sort of this Renaissance way, but also kind of cartoonish, which is what the original 3 princess movies were like: Snow White, Aurora, or aka Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella. About to go inside, and it's a little walkthrough exhibit. You don't get to sit down. May be quite enjoyable. I've actually never seen it before because I've always been about the rides. Look at this. They have other versions of the characters. So, a little known fact about Cinderella: while she is usually attributed to being a German fairy tale, there is actually no strict original fairy tale origin. The Brothers Grimm did make a fairy tale about Cinderella being a princess, and that's the one that a lot of the modern stories are based on. However, they didn't make up the story of Cinderella. The oldest known version of the story of a common woman in a bad situation being sought after by a man of high nobility and status actually dates back to ancient Egypt, where a pharaoh was walking through the streets and saw a beautiful slave woman, thought to himself, wow, she's hot, and then married her. And then she became the queen of Egypt. And that's just some story. We don't know if that actually happened or not, but that is, as far as we know, the original story of Cinderella. There's all sorts of different artworks and styles, detailed scenes from the movie and different parts of the story. Some of them move, some of them don't. This actually looks terrifying. The prince's legs are weird. So I knew they'd commissioned artists from all over the world to make stuff, but I didn't realize they commissioned them to make it in different styles. This is gorgeous. I love the metal one. So this is Love. It's a very beautiful, slow song. I wonder how they get them to spin. Another little known fact about Disney's version of Cinderella is they did not live happily ever after. In fact, what happened is there is a second movie that is a series of short stories. And then the third film features the evil, wicked stepmother obtaining the fairy godmother's wand and using it to turn back time so that Cinderella and the prince never get married. And eventually what happens in that film is that Cinderella does marry the prince again, but she never reverses the time travel. So in essence, the third film in the Cinderella trilogy undoes the first film. It's absolutely wild. All right, so we went to the Pico Bill Cafe or whatever it was, little side thing. And I saw the churro. It was 600 yen, and the little model was a little small. Thankfully, the churro itself was much longer, but I've noticed in the rest of the park and in most places I go, churro is 500 yen. For some reason, this churro is 600 yen. So I have to record this because I have to know, is this worth 600 yen? Oh, there's cream inside. Look at that. Creamy goodness. Is it worth 600 yen? No. Is any churro worth 500 yen? Also no. But I get it because it's a special treat. I'm also glad it was much bigger than the photo suggested. Next up is a pork rice roll, which is very hot. I might burn my mouth. Hopefully I don't. It's salty, it's meaty, it's very cheap, like cheap quality. Kind of like low quality bacon wrapped around very greasy white rice. I'm not gonna eat this again, but I will finish it. In the States, you get sweet tea, that's really it. Here you get unsweetened green tea, unsweetened oolong tea, unsweetened barley tea. Ah, that is refreshing. All right, I thought I was gonna be disappointed because this is the America section of the park, but it's a little overpriced and underwhelming, but it's still better than it was in the States because this would have cost me like $10, $12 in the United States. Like the churro would have cost me like $10 in the United States. Here it only cost me about $4. So still much, much better in terms of value. Is it still overpriced? Technically, yes. Is it cheaper than what you're paying for in the States? Definitely yes. So.
I've been walking around, waiting for you to shine. People passing me by. Does it feel like I belong? Trying to keep it alive on this hungry side for a better confirmation. Yeah, I'm heading for the station and I can feel love is real. Now you try.
we have reached a lull in the day because we have conquered most of the things that are worthy for adults to ride in the park. Ah, my hat! We still have not done Big Thunder Mountain. Space Mountain is closed right now. They're renovating it, and it won't be ready until I think 2027 or 2028. And then there's the Cult of Baymax, where we didn't get them on camera. I kind of wish we could have interviewed them or at least gotten a photo with them. But there was this couple that walked by, and they were dressed in all white from head to toe. Like, the shoes were white, pants, shirt was white, undershirt was white. They had a white umbrella, and then they both had white hats with Baymax's face on them, Baymax sunglasses, and then the woman was carrying a Baymax bag as she held her giant plush Baymax that had its own pair of Baymax sunglasses. That was insane to see, because that's like $200+ of Baymax merchandise. So far, my thoughts on the parks is that if you're an adult, you really should just go to Disney Seas. Like, if you have 2 days at the park, go to Disney Seas both days. Take your time, ride all the stuff, ride some things twice, you know? See most of the shows. It will be fun. If you have small kids, come to Disneyland. One of the biggest differences I am seeing between Disneyland in Tokyo and Disney World and Disneyland in America is the wait times are so low. We're in summer. People aren't supposed to be in school, people are on holidays, and we are getting through lines in 5 minutes or less sometimes. It's insane, because that's just not a thing in America. It's not even 5 o'clock, and we have done almost everything we want to do. Like, we're gonna be done by 7. It's crazy. I love Disney. I'm a huge fan, so I'm very glad I got to see Disneyland in Tokyo. It is interesting seeing the small differences between American Disneyland and American Magic Kingdom and Tokyo Disneyland. Disney Seas, though, is its own original park. We were talking about this earlier of Beauty and the Beast, which is in Disneyland. I was like, wow, this is the only version of this in the entire world. That's amazing. We got to ride it. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute. Tokyo Disney Seas is the only version of that entire park in the entire world. If you go ride it, you have ridden things that very few people in the rest of the world have ever ridden before, which is kind of crazy to think about that. Sure, millions of people have visited it at this point, but still, there are billions of people on the planet who have never even stepped foot in it. So if you have the chance to come to Tokyo, I highly recommend going to Tokyo Disney Seas. If you're a huge fan of Disney, I'd say go visit both parks. Maybe get a park hopper pass so that when you're done with Disneyland, you can go to Disney Seas and do a couple more things. In terms of quality of food between the two parks, I think Disney Seas wins out hands down. Disneyland has a lot more American style food, so it's greasy, it's sugary, and it's a little overpriced, which is weird. It's like actually more expensive compared to Disney Seas. I don't even know how that works. Like, a churro over here is 600 yen. Disney Seas, it's 500 yen. Why are they different prices? I don't understand it. That's it for this adventure. I'll see you on the next one.